Hello and welcome to this Scientific Principles video with Elec Training. We're still learning about basic mechanics, and in the previous video we learnt about the relationship between mass and weight. Now you may recall from this diagram that we looked at the mass of an astronaut on the Earth and on the Moon, and we found that the mass of that astronaut does not change. If the mass was 120 kilograms on the Earth, it would be 120 kilograms on the Moon. However, the weight of the astronaut does change because weight is as a result of the force of gravity acting on an object. And so the weight of the astronaut is the mass of the astronaut times the gravitational field strength. Now on Earth that is 9.81 newtons per kilogram. So 120 kilograms is the mass. If we multiply that by 9.81, we get a weight of 1177.2 newtons, because newton is the measurement of force and weight is the force acting on the object, so weight is measured in newtons. On the other hand, on the Moon, the gravitational field strength is a lot less. In fact, it's 1.635 newtons per kilogram. So in this case we take the mass, 120 kilograms, and we multiply it by the gravitational field strength, and that gives us a weight of 196.2 newtons. So we see that mass does not change, but weight does. In fact, if you're floating in space, you're considered to be weightless, and that's because your mass would still be the same as it is on Earth, but you multiply that by the gravity, which would be 0, and therefore the resultant sum is 0, so your weight is 0. So that's how we distinguish between mass and weight. Now you need to have a grasp of the following concepts, and we need to be able to do calculations with them. So the concepts are mass, which we've discussed, acceleration, which we're going to go on to look at now, and force. So these three things we're going to consider in more detail: mass, acceleration, and force. So this is what we know about mass so far. Mass is a measure of how much matter is in an object. It's not related to gravity, so the force of gravity doesn't change the mass of an object. And the SI unit of mass is the kilogram. What else would you need to know about mass? Well, you could be asked in an exam to calculate the mass of an object if you're given the volume and density. And there is a formula to use, and the formula is mass equals volume times density. So if we know the volume and we know the density, we can calculate the mass simply by multiplying them together. And now we're going to talk about acceleration. So acceleration is worked out by finding the average velocity and dividing that by the time, and acceleration is measured in meters per second squared. So we'll see the formula looks a bit more complicated because at the top of the line it's got final velocity minus initial velocity. So that's just in order to work out the change in velocity, and we divide that by the time, and that gives us an acceleration in meters per second squared. So when an aircraft takes off, it starts from rest and it increases in velocity until it actually takes off before it can fly. So the change in velocity is called acceleration, and acceleration is the change in velocity over time. Now that sentence actually is a sentence that reflects that formula that I've written down. Acceleration is the change in velocity over time. And you see you've got at the top of the formula, you've got the change in velocity, the final velocity minus the initial velocity, that's your change in velocity, and it's over time. So quite literally the sentence reflects the maths that's involved. Acceleration is the change in velocity over time. And velocity is constant speed and direction. Now, speed and velocity, again, they're almost interchangeable, but they're not quite the same thing. Speed talks about how fast something's going. Velocity actually means how fast it's going in a particular direction. So it has both a quantity of speed and direction. That's velocity. Now the formula for velocity is this. It's velocity equals distance over time. And velocity is measured in meters per second. We're going to work through an example now to put this into practice. So here's the question. If a car accelerates from a velocity of 3 meters per second to 15 meters per second in 4 seconds, calculate its average acceleration. So our first thing to do is to work out what is the change in velocity. So the change in velocity would be the 15 meters per second minus 3 meters per second, and that would give us the change in velocity, which would be 12. And we put that over the time, which is 4 seconds. So we've got 15 minus 3 at the top over 4. So that's 12 over 4. That means that the average acceleration is 3 meters per second squared. So the average acceleration is 3 meters per second every second. That's what meters per second means. 3 meters per second per second. Now, acceleration is relevant when we consider gravity. See, gravity causes objects to accelerate to the ground. They don't just fall. If you drop an apple, the apple will accelerate as it's heading towards the ground. It's getting faster and faster. The rate of acceleration that an object falls on planet Earth is based on the Earth's gravitational field. So because of this, objects accelerate to the ground at a rate of 9.81 meters per second squared. Now you need to remember that number. We've already come across it. The 9.81 was the strength of the gravitational field in newtons per kilogram, but it causes an object to accelerate to the ground at a rate of 9.81 meters per second squared. So you see the number's the same, and it's very helpful because that's the number you need to remember in relation to gravity, 9.81. So let's put some of this together now. We're saying that force is measured in newtons and that an object with a mass of 1 kilogram experiences a force of 9.81 newtons as a result of gravity. So its weight is 9.81 newtons. Now, if we want to lift that object, we need to exert a force of 9.81 newtons to lift it against the pull of gravity. And we've said that 9.81 meters per second squared is the value of acceleration that is caused by gravity. If the object is dropped, it will accelerate to the ground at 9.81 meters per second squared. So to calculate the force on a body due to gravity, we multiply its mass by 9.81 because that is the value of gravity on Earth. So lastly, in this video, we're going to do a calculation here. Here's the question. A bundle of conduit has a mass of 800 kilograms. What force will be required to lift it? So the force required will be the mass times the acceleration due to gravity. Now we can write this down as a formula, and this is another formula that you need to learn. F equals ma. Force equals mass times acceleration. So in this case we can put the numbers in, and that would be 800 times 9.81. So the force required to lift that bundle of conduit would be 7,848 newtons. And all that remains for me to say in this video is thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.